walked from the International District Station. I'm wondering if there's a demonstration up ahead. The buses are just sitting here. Let's see. Here comes Daddy Mike. Huge cameras, there must be news. Running out of battery space here. Oh, here they come. Well, I'll run the footage until the battery goes out. Resist Trump, I'll go with that. Let's see if I recognize anybody. See a lot of young people, a lot of students. Victoria siempre. Swamp thing. Oh, that's great. Not a huge crowd, but maybe a few hundred. There you have it. It's January 20th, 2017 afternoon. I'm sitting in a bus on Jackson Street near 5th Avenue, 5th and 6th Avenue in Seattle. Interesting vehicle right here. And we're off. The second part of this compilation. I just took a few minutes ago when I got to the walk to the intersection of Rainier Avenue and South Jackson Street, and after I did the videoing for a minute or so, I asked a traffic patrol officer when he expected the likelihood would be that the first old trolley would be coming through. He said, give it at least an hour. Anyway, it looks like just judging from where I was standing, there were the entire street, Jackson, was filled with demonstrators from sidewalk to sidewalk, both sides and in between. And there were dozens of people walking towards the demonstration on the same streets I'd walked up on Rainier towards Jackson. And it looked like it was all the way down towards 4th, 5th Avenue on the kind of west end and up towards 23rd. To me, it looked like it could be the largest largest demonstration actually that I've seen in Seattle in all my years here, kind of revoking the enormous turnout of anti-war demonstrations I went to back in 67, 68, 69, and so on in New York and Washington, D.C. So anyway, this is a poster of a drawing from my Under the Wing series, and depicts Rubinstein, who was a mime artist and came from the region around Warsaw. It was in the dragnet of Jewish deportees to the Warsaw Ghetto, which was itself a concentration death camp. And he was murdered in fall of 1942 when the Nazis did the huge deportations of a couple of 100,000 or so Jewish prisoners in the ghetto between like August and October or so, 1942, to the mass murder camp at Treblinka. And speaking of protests, he was, to me, remains something special in memory and for education, considering what was going on in the ghetto. People were dying on the streets of starvation. Calories were about 600 or so calories per day per prisoner, not enough to sustain human life. And people were frequently dragged off by Nazi soldiers and never seen again, taken to various concentration death camps and then the mass murder camps. And he did mime on the streets of the ghetto, just amazing. And in the photograph that I got from the YIVO Research Institute Library in New York back in 1993, where I'd first seen it, listed in a pre-computerized catalog entry, it said Rubinstein Let's, L-E-T-S, which is Yiddish for mime. He was standing there just like that with a beret, a western shirt, snap pockets, kind of zippered front, shiny belt buckle, black pants and shiny shoes, doing mime. And I left out the buildings and the men that were standing in the background, but to ground him to space, I did draw the wheels of this like pedicab-like thing that was on the pavement there. So on the 21st, 2017, I'm commuting somewhere unrelated to the protests, and it looks like I've chanced on another demonstration. Same street as yesterday when I was on the bus, Jackson Street.
So I need to know.
This one looks bigger, people-wise. If I can get through. But as long as I'm here, I'll video this for out of the area. Tolerance education supporters. This has got to be the women's march here. And that is a very good sized turnout. Excellent. Looks like it's going on for at least a couple of blocks in that direction.
Right, yeah, no. I'm up for
Looks like it's going on for a number of blocks back that way.
Ella.
Well, that's enough for now. Helicopter looks like it's hovering. There's another one over there.